Well, I get paid earlier now that I have my money being put on, deposited to a Walmart card. So that means I get to go into the day spa earlier. Yeah, get cleaned up. And while my disabled ass is being homeless, waiting on housing. So I've gone online this morning, and of course, chosen one is chosen to help drug addicts, get into housing, which is what I'm waiting for. And, they don't realize how they fuck up the whole system for everybody else. People like me that are just simply disabled or elderly, living on a fixed income, are in need of those places, are in need of those housing places. And they're putting these drug addicts in there. Like I say, said in another video that, this guy I met out here, his ex-girlfriend was living in one of the apartments here, the housing developments, and where I would be forced to live for a year, with around a bunch of fucking drug addicts. I mean, that's why I live out here in Weaverville, so I don't have to live near fucking drug addicts. And then, of course, the only drug addict in the village out here stumbles upon me. Of course, I'm sure there are more, but he comes out here and he's drinking and everything else and telling me his sob story and whatever. I said, and then anyway, he's telling me about his ex-girlfriend living in one of the apartments over here downtown in Asheville, and she's getting free rent. And her and her BLM boyfriend, Black Lives Murder boyfriend, are selling crack out of the apartment. And so they got caught, I guess, or found out. And somehow, finally, after 9 months living there. And so now they're being evicted. So they've got to leave the apartment. But this is what I'm saying, is that it ties up the whole system for people that really need it. And not just drug addicts, which is all they are. That's their problem. And they make it everybody else's fucking problem. For the elderly, like growing old is a problem. Like, no, it's not a problem. People grow old, they retire, and then they're forced to live on a little over $1,000 a month. Yeah, it's like my friend Roseanne out in Charlotte is telling me they're only going to give her. She's been working at Walmart for years and years, and they're only going to give her $1,100 a month to live on. Yeah, I mean, it's shit, but they give us to live on. Disabled or retired people, which is why we need help with housing. And fortunately, she has her daughter living with her, and she gets Social Security. So the two checks, both their checks combined, is how they make it. But for someone who's single like me, that has to live by themselves, it makes it next to impossible to afford anything. So, this is a serious problem in this country, especially when they're allowing people that don't have jobs, because they're going to take 1/3 of my income to live in that place. And they're allowing people in there that have no jobs, and all they're doing is selling and using drugs. Yeah, and they get rent free. They're going to take money out of my check every month, and they let them fucking live rent free. It's unfucking believable. And so that they can sell drugs out of the apartment, and use drugs and buy and sell drugs out of the apartment. It's fucking ridiculous. And it pisses me off. And nobody fucking comes to the rescue and helps me, or does shit to help me. All right, they treat me like all the fucking drug addicts downtown, because they think we're all drug addicts and alcoholics and everything, and I'm not. My only problem is being disabled. I worked for 16 years before I became disabled, because of an accident I was in, and so no fault of my own once again. And but the fact is that those people are clogging up all the help that should be going to people that really need it, and they are not the ones that really need it. All right, they need to stop doing drugs and go get a job and work 16 years like I did or more, like everybody else. Stop being a bunch of fucking drug addicts spending $100 a day on drugs. It's fucking ridiculous. I get $9.98 a month to live on. $100 a day. I wouldn't even. Where the hell? What the hell? Yeah, no wonder she's a fucking prostitute or doing whatever the fuck she's doing, because she's got to go. She's got to go prostitute herself to fucking buy drugs. It's fucking ridiculous. And we're sick of it. All right. It's like George Floyd dropped a bag of fucking meth on the ground when he was being arrested. I saw the video. Another one. Like I say, these people cause more problems in this country than anybody else. They're all using fucking drugs like George Floyd on meth and fentanyl, and then passing off counterfeit bills from China and buying drugs. And then you wonder why the police are just like, I'd be freaked out too every day if I had to go to work. Have to deal with those violent drug addicts, and then God only knows what every day. And people, I mean, they'd have to deal with that shit every fucking day. They go to work, they have to deal with these fucking people. And that's why they are the way they are. So, it isn't any wonder. Like I say, these drug addicts have fucked up the whole fucking system for everybody, because it costs so much money, more money, and then putting them in rehab. I mean, they get up to like $1,000 a day. They get almost what I get in a month in one day to go to rehab. Yeah, that's what they give me. What they give me to live on for a month, it costs them almost that much to put them in rehab for a day, maybe two. And they stay there for a whole fucking month. Yeah, that's where all the money's going, and they're the fucking problem. All right, and which is why it makes it difficult for everybody else that's not a drug addict, that's just either disabled or elderly, that needs a place to live or any kind of help at all. Because they suck away all the money on stupid fucking drug addicts like that. All right, and I have no sympathy for them, because they do it to themselves. Goodbye.